I was about to say, is that my phone? Because I have iPhones.
Oh, right.
Is that my phone? No, it's not, Leo. It's not your phone. So, happy 613. That's why we wearing the blonde.
613. And I'm just, what is this, 1B?
Welcome to our podcast. I'm Leo.
I'm Jackie.
I'm Nikki.
And we are
somewhere in between.
Yeah, and you're somewhere in between all these lines.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it work. But today's podcast, we are talking about gay for pay. I have the softest snap, y'all.
Like around the world,
it's very soft. It's very.
Why? Why is your you don't have one of them church snaps?
Right, me and like
show. Hey.
Mm-hmm. Like, and it's like soft.
Gay for pay. Yes. And let's not also forget that it is Juneteenth.
Yes. And this month is grads and dads also.
Right. So let's give it up for the grads.
Ooh.
And let's give it up for the dads. Y'all enjoy your donuts and your grass cutting.
Yeah. Right. And the tie. Are they at the tie?
The tie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
tie.
You're getting a tie. Mm-hmm. You're getting a tie.
So with a lot of the things that are being celebrated this month, we really wanted to spotlight what we see as a hot conversation, but also something that needs to be discussed. So in regards of Juneteenth, we kind of want to just give a definition of explain why we are honoring Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
Want to read the definition or what that meaning is?
So you want to do it?
Yeah, go ahead. Y'all can do it.
And there's another one for
the history of Juneteenth. The Emancipation. Let me get it together. The Emancipation Proclamation was issued by President Abraham Lincoln and became official on January 1st, 1863, declaring the more than 3 million enslaved people of Confederate states free. Yet, it would take 2.5 years for the order to reach Texas, where the announcement was read by Union soldiers led by Major General Gordon Granger in Galveston on June 19, 1865. Why the 2-year delay between when Lincoln issued the order and the news reaching Texas? There are a number of ideas. One says that the messenger was killed on his way to deliver the news. Another says that the news was withheld to maintain the enslaved labor force that Texas plantations were relying upon. And another idea surmises that the news was delayed purposely to allow a final harvest to take place. But no matter the reason, slavery remained in Texas until the day and is now recognized and celebrated as Juneteenth.
Woo! We is free.
And it's about like, they tried to hide that.
Give us free. But we just recently got it as a national holiday.
Mm-hmm.
The last couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is crazy because even it's like if they could keep that a secret at that time, of course it's easy to not acknowledge it today. So I'm really just proud as a society that we have taken something that was hidden and brought it to the light, and then we have the month to really celebrate what that means.
And that was something that Joe Biden did. He signed the bill on June 17th of 2021, making Juneteenth the 11th American federal holiday and the first to obtain legal observance as a federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day was designated in 1983.
Woo! That's a while. But also, I want to talk about the lady who she walked every year for the past 20 years. She is the mother of Juneteenth to get legislation passed for Juneteenth to happen. I gotta look that up, what her name is, and I'll make that edit. But she is the mother of Juneteenth. I did a little blurb on her last year. But yes, Juneteenth is special to us. And one of the things I do, that's why we named it Gay for Pay, but it's also talking about, like, are you about that life? Opal Lee. Yes.
That's beautiful.
Opal Lee. Yes. She marched 4 miles. I think, how old is she now?
It said she was born in 1926.
So she's about
98.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And she's still alive.
And a lot of times we have to bring awareness to things that are important to us. Like if especially if that's the community that you're impacted by, or that you're in. So if you're in that Black community, if you're in the Black community, knowing that there's people who are going to continue to walk, to speak, to protest, not just to complain about the things that we see that are wrong, but to add awareness to things that are worth celebrating.
Also, like you said, worth celebrating, but don't just celebrate it because it's something lucrative for your business.
Right. Which is why the episode is entitled Gay for Pay.
So can we give a little bit insight to what as far as gay pride, like what that is about, before we dive into how that affects us as business owners? I feel like that.
There you go.
Like church.
Get the Bible. I haven't had that.
Please
That is such a, oh my God, that is such a universal experience.
Yes.
They'd be like,
turn with me if you will.
okay, so lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Pride Month, LGBT Pride Month, is celebrated annually in June to honor the 1969 Stonewall riots, and works to achieve equal justice and equal opportunity for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning / queer Americans. That will talk about the movement and what it looks like to be a real ally. But what we can speak on is, what does it mean to be an ally for the Black community
as a business? Because,
you know, it's great that you want to celebrate Juneteenth and sell us ice cream.
And rainbows.
Yes, you want to sell us ice cream and rainbows.
Like, there was the cutest thing at Michael's. They have a whole section when you walk in at Michael's for Pride, and it's like beach towels and it's wreaths made of rainbows with florals, and I'm just like, it is so pretty. But then I'm like, if I buy this, am I giving in to because it's pretty?
To the commercialization,
right? To the commercialization, right? Exactly. Or am I really gonna like stand ground, or what do I stand for by buying this? What am I supporting by buying this? Or just saying, and then to be truthful, I want to support, but in the most tasteful way,
right?
You know, because I would hate if somebody, you know, took advantage of like Martin Luther King Day or something like that, and they just made it like, oh, I'm just going. Well, that's exactly what we do. At the same time, on Memorial Day, we care more about the barbecue and the pool than we do about remembering the soldiers that died, remembering the people that died as a result of riots,
right? And war,
right? But I mean, like, even with Juneteenth and Gay Pride, I did not know until you just read that that it was as a result of the Stonewall riots. And so the fact that we even have somebody in this community, in this Savannah area, that can like tell us more about that, that adds value to me, to understanding a different perspective than I had today when I woke up this morning. So I'm excited to get to know how we can rally and support those in the Pride and Black community.
Yep. And which, you know, I believe that one of the ways that you can support now is to support Black businesses, because when you support Black businesses and you buy from a small Black business, that money comes back into the community, which ultimately is all of our community. So, you know, you supporting a small business is the same way, but it's with Black businesses. And we've given statistics about that. How much harder it is for us to have financing and just to be open. So the average business closes in 5 years. Can you imagine what the number is like for Black businesses? And we'll make sure to put that at the bottom of the screen. But those numbers are important, because guess what? When you support a business, you support a family and you support a community, especially because we're focusing on the communities of Savannah, Georgia. And we have a lot of Black businesses here. And a lot of the businesses are really good. They're really great businesses, but a lot of people don't know about them. So,
yeah. And as a,
well, I was going to ask, I'm like, are we, even when you're trying to figure out how to have that conversation, who to support and not know, you don't want to walk into business and be like, well, I don't see any rainbows. So are they like, you know, but opening yourself up to talk to people. Like everybody in between the three of us, we're all come from different backgrounds. We have different sexualities. And me as a heterosexual, I don't have the same experience that these two ladies have. Well, not well, as a heterosexual, as a person, I don't have these experiences. I think we looked up and you read off just what the
LGBTQIA.
It was QQ plus. It was apparently there's two things that describe the Q. So I'm just like, who do I have that conversation with, and how do you know, and how do you have a safe conversation about that?
And I think that's one we could ask our guest next week, which I'm so excited about. Cultivate Savannah.
Mm-hmm. Do you identify as like outwardly as a pride or as gay or lesbian?
Well, being married to a woman for 10 years, I didn't really have a choice.
I'm sorry.
I didn't really have a choice.
So that sounded so crazy.
No, it's okay. But it was, yeah.
We don't talk about that.
I don't really, yes, I have, but I have been technically for, as far as the community is considered, I would be considered bi. I consider myself more of, I just love people, and it's kind of like whoever I'm with at the time is who I'm with. So I have dated women, I've dated men. I've never dated anyone outside of that spectrum, but I'm not saying that I would not be open to it. So what I identify as is I don't really like to be identified by any of the letters of this alphabet.
Okay.
I identify as me.
Okay. Yes, I love it. So how can when we're trying to be understanding or be aware of either community, mm-hmm. what do y'all think is the best way to approach that support, or to approach someone in that community and to give support without making that the only way you identify them?
So I think that being the title of this, being gay for pay, also goes as far as being Black for pay too, because if we are being realistic, the Black dollar does not stay in our community more than 6 hours. It stays, it comes in our community and then it leaves right back out. In the Jewish communities, you get 20 hours, in the Jewish community, you get 30 days, 6 hours in the Black community, 20 days in the Jewish community, and 30 days in the Asian community.
There's actually numbers on this?
We get 6 hours.
So we got to get paid.
Somebody comes in, buy something from a Black business, and then we go right back out and spend it at Walmart or wherever else. Wow. We don't take it and reinvest back into our own community. So that's why we struggle. That is why we can't get money, funding and everything, because we don't have the numbers to support us, because we're not supporting us. So I think that when you get ready to talk about Juneteenth and as far as Pride and everything, the difference about the Pride community is that they support each other. They're going to show up for each other in droves. If you tell somebody that there's something happening to a member of the community, you'll be lucky if you don't have rainbows all over your profile, all over your front porch. Like they get busy about it. But as far as the Black community goes, we stick together until. And so we just got to do better as far as that. So how can you support Black-owned businesses? You can buy from Black-owned businesses, but as a Black-owned business, how do you support yourself and how do you support your community is by buying from other Black-owned businesses. So if you are a restaurateur, maybe trying to get your produce from a Black farm, like just find different ways to do that. And you can find those farms and everything by researching it. There are lists of Black-owned things. There are, most of the time they're denoted that says a Black-owned business. That's the same thing with members of the Pride community. They normally will let you know that I'm a member of the Pride community, or
I'm an ally.
I'm an ally. Yeah, it'll say that they're friendly. It'll say those things so that you know where your dollars are going, and we've just got to be more cognizant of that.
But also, I really like that you brought up a lot of points, a lot of good points. But
I bet you will.
Oh, we have to. I bet you won't. No, I got to think about these things before I say it, because I'm about to wild out.
I had never considered, even as we said, we knew that this topic was in the pipeline. Mm-hmm. I never really looked at it, but as you said it, I was like, when it comes to women, when it comes to white men, when it comes to the LGBT, it's so much bonding and so much I support you, I'm gonna help you with. When it comes to Black people, it's like crabs in a barrel. So, and then it's even with that, it's there's certain things that we can't help. Like Walmart is Walmart. So yeah, the money's going to Walmart, it's getting spent. But yeah, like those little things, like where you shop for clothes, just where you buy little things, where you get your skin products. Why don't we support each other? Does it come from the results of traumatic ancestry? Can we bounce back from that?
It's kind of like the same thing that we talked about the last time, that business, how if you have a bad experience with a Black-owned business, you just go and you are just bad-mouthing this business to everybody who will listen. Whereas you have Walmart. People have become deceased at Walmart stores before. Walmart is still packed.
Still packed.
All the time. They have put up those little rinky-dink metal detectors that you cannot go through. And people still go there. So it's not about being safe. It's just the fact that Black people are always looking for a reason to not support Black people. That is a problem that we have in our community. And how do we fix that? And it's by having these events like Juneteenth, where you go out and you meet great business owners. They have different festivals and everything where they have a lot of the different vendors set up, and you can go and exchange cards and everything like that. But just getting out more in your community so that we erase that fear and that stigma that has kind of been implanted in us. That is how another way to support.
And I personally have lived in a Jewish community. So, what is it like? When I tell you, there is no Walmart in their community.
Local.
It is only local stores. And they pay the markup for those businesses. So let's say you could get a donut at Walmart for 50 cents, but at the local store, it's about 75. And guess who will pay that?
Without complaining, because it's gonna be more, because it's coming from the rabbi versus going to an actual commercial chain, and understanding the economics of it, that it's going to be more expensive for this person to source it versus this commercial brand that can buy 1,000 of them and that marks the price down. That's also what you have to understand.
I'm like Temu. Like we'll sit there, we want to support a boutique that's local, but then we'll go on Temu and spend $7. And I'm saying I like it. My shoes was from Temu. They were $7.99 and I rocked them things. But I gotta sit there and be like, oh, for the foot support, maybe I should invest a little bit more money, But whatever that case is, we do a terrible job of standing up and speaking up for our culture and its business. But then yet we all want to be business owners,
right?
We all want to
know why we can't get funding and everything. Everything is a numbers game. If we have the numbers to support us asking for this money, then we have the numbers to support it, and we are able to get more funding. We're able to get things poured back into the community. But we can't even get y'all to do the darn census. So
I just tossed that to the side, honestly.
We can't even get y'all to do the census, and that's how we get money.
What's the incentive? Right, I'd be like,
but think about it. When you look at your ancestry, do you look up the census? That's how I found out that a lot of my people were Native American.
I don't like the census because it puts us in a, I don't know if I like being put in a box. I don't know if I like when you go to the doctor and then they have you check like male, female, Black, white, Native, island. What if you're more than one? What if you are? Those questions, I feel like they're divisive. And then when I see the census, it makes me not want to tell them, because I feel like y'all are doing that so y'all can put us in a box and do this. But I don't want to exist there. But I never considered that the census, the ancestry, the link aspect of that part. Interesting.
And that's also how they pour.
Well, you know what? That is honesty.
I love the honesty, but it is also how they decide where money is going to go, because it's about the density of the neighborhoods and the need. So if you're not answering it, it could be 500 people in the neighborhood, but if only 25 people fill out the census to the government, only 25 people live in this neighborhood. So now when we decide to diversify the funds, we only have to send enough for 25 people. So it's important that you guys do the census.
Somebody should probably record what you just said and run that as an ad as to why we should do it. Because I was, when I look at that, I'd be like, y'all got to give me some incentive to fill this out in a timely manner because
You
just
don't-
like jury duty.
The incentive is the $2 bill. Y'all, you don't think that's
Really?
Yeah, sometimes they come with a $2.
$2 bill.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'd have to also check my mail too.
So you're getting
that's
rid of
scam.
$2 bills. Oh,
I know because nobody carries a $2 bill anymore. Now when you get it, you're supposed to like put it in a frame
Keep
or something,
it.
You're
right?
supposed to keep it, yeah.
So maybe I will work for my little $2 bill for the next census 10 years from now.
I think that's it. I love that point.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
important.
you,
It's kind of annoying to be put in a box, but I guess it's also important for the community, for camaraderie, to understand the importance of coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, so I do want to talk about this because it is 6/13, but yesterday the courts in Oklahoma ruled that the last person that was alive in the Tulsa massacre was denied reparations. So as well as it is to fill out the census, it's great to fill that out too, but you also should vote because the people that are in those seats determine whether you get what you need or not. So just wanted to throw that in there.
It all matters. And you know we have the other elections coming up. But local elections are so important.
Do the research.
Because you may not know whether you want to choose Joe or Kamala or Trump or whoever else is running. You may not know if you want to choose who you want to choose on those levels. But you should be able to know who you want to choose in your own backyard. You should be able to follow their track record, talk to your other friends and family, see if they know, or even just do your own research to be more knowledgeable about it. Because the people that are right there in your neighborhood are the ones that's affecting whether or not Pookie's little shop is going to stay right there or it's about to become a commercial high rise. Those are the people that you really need to be voting for. The president, voting for the president and all of that is it's you know, it's commercialized, it's important. But the local elections do not get enough participation. And then when you're going out and your neighborhood is gentrified and you can't recognize it anymore, you're wondering why. Well, this is why.
They hear you.
Right. I mean, you didn't go out and tell them that no, we're not standing for this until it's too late.
Until it's too late. And I get it. You probably have a lot of bills, kids, the dog, maybe the cat. Things are going on in your life, but this affects your children, your grandchildren, hell, your great-great-grandchildren. So that's why it's important for you to vote into these local elections because it affects your day-to-day and beyond.
And then this month is Juneteenth. We became free so that we could be free and be able to do things that we want to do. We want to live our life on our own accord. But now we're voting for people or not voting for people that are coming in and taking away that freedom because you can't afford to be free anymore.
And after the fact, then you got all the opinions, all the stats, all the things. But where were you at the city hall meeting when you had the platform to speak in front of the people that you actually want to give those words to? You can tell them y'all doing a crappy job, but tell them before they get reelected. Because if somebody elects me again, I'm gonna do the same thing
I was doing before.
I was like, y'all be lucky if I do right. Apparently it's working, so why would I change? Now, if somebody comes and challenges me, then I got a whole situation that I could opt to clean up, and then I might get that person's vote. I might get that person's respect or somebody else's. But we have to show up and we have to let people know where we stand and how we feel about it.
Yes, you have to show up for yourself. If you don't believe in you, who is going to believe in you? Like, if you don't believe in yourself enough to show up to the polls, enough to be present, especially in your own businesses, you got to think about locally as business owners, we are affected a lot too, because, you know, you have grants and things that you can get from the city. And the way that they divide that money up is by how many actual legal businesses are in that city or that area. So you also have to think about those things and continue and do business in the way that business is supposed to be done.
Well, I think we should end it on that note. I think this was beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll post the local Juneteenth events that are happening this week, but there are also some happening next week as well. So we'll post those as well in the Savannah, Georgia area.
And also, we want to hear some of your feedback. If you've got stories that are unique to your journey as an entrepreneur or business owner that pertain to Pride Month or Juneteenth, Father's Day, graduation, we would love to hear all of your stories. So please share in the comments or send us a message.
And if you disagree with us, and if there's a point that I made or either of us made and you disagree with it, Talk to us. We talk about
Right,
it.
let's fight. Let's fight.
Let's talk about
let's
it.
talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Maybe you can change our minds. But let's talk about it. At least let's start the conversation.
All right.
Let's start the conversation.
Love that.
All right.
Till next time.
Have a good day.
On purpose.
Bye, y'all. That was beautiful.
That was really good.
Still sweating in the office, but